Hey y'all, it's Misha T here with the All Things Said podcast. Here's where we let out our peace for peace, meaning letting out what you've been holding in for a better peace of mind. We stay true to ourselves and have those tough conversations we normally wouldn't. So get comfortable, chill, and get ready to be real and here. Hey y'all, what's up? It's Misha T back here with the All Things Said podcast. And today's question of the day is, what do you truly think of yourself? I was watching a video the other month, and something someone said was people will never rise above the opinion of themselves. Excuse me. And that really stuck with me because when you think about it, it's actually true. And the way I interpret it is that no matter what no one else says about you or even think about you, what truly matters is what you really think of yourself. Like, you could be feeling like you're the worst person in the world, and somebody could come to you with 1,000 things that they love about you, but it's not gonna affect how you think about yourself because it matters what you believe, not what they believe, or vice versa. You could be feeling like you're a very great person, but someone could come to you trying to tear you down or bring you down and say negative things about you, but it's not really going to affect you because you truly, deep inside, you feel like you're a great person inside. And that's one thing we have to work on, even myself, is creating a strong foundation and a strong belief system within ourselves, forming our own opinions within ourselves, asking ourselves what we actually truly think about ourselves, not what somebody else thinks, not what your mother thinks, what your dad thinks, your grandma, your friend, your auntie, your uncle, your brother, your sister, your lover. It doesn't matter. It's about what you think. And another thing is we have to master the art of we have to master the art of controlling our thoughts because you are the author of your thoughts. Your thought starts with you. And sometimes we have to look back at our childhood and our childhood trauma to figure out like where these thoughts come from when it comes to like negative thoughts we might have about ourselves or negative opinions about ourselves, because sometimes we as a child could be perceive things in a different way than we would have in an adult. For example, like I seen this lady say on TikTok the other day, like if you was a child and you wanted a lot of attention from your parent, but you seen your parent give another sibling way more attention than you, and so then you start creating the thoughts of like that you're not good enough, that you'll never be good enough, and good enough for somebody to give you attention, love, whatever the case may be. Then you grow up thinking like that, but then as an adult, you can look back at where that thought rooted from, where it came from, and then we can work on switching that thought up and changing it around. Also, a lot of times, like, people use emotional reasoning, especially myself too, like thinking our feelings accurately shows reality. And this is when you could be sad about something, right? Something that happened, and now you look at your whole life as you feel like you got a real sad life, but it just stems from the emotions that you're feeling. We can be using the emotions we might feel about certain events, and we can tell ourselves that is what our life is. Or you can be angry about something, some situations that happen, and so now you just walking around with anger and hurt, and maybe you feel like people are mad at you all the time, or you mad at people all the time, or you feel like just so many things aren't working in your favor, and that your life is just full of anger. But really, is you using, like I said, emotional reason. You using the emotions that you're feeling off of things, and letting the emotions, how do I say this, you're viewing your life through the emotions that you're feeling on certain situations, basically. And sometimes, like, just because we might feel a certain emotion about our life, that's just not how it is. Like, that does not mean that is what our life is. And that's something I realized. Like, when I heard it in the video I was watching, I was like, wow, I do that. Like, I can be thinking of so many sad moments and so many sad things could be happening, and I'll be sitting there telling myself, like, that's just what my life is, and it's just full of sad things, sad moments, sad events, and I let those thoughts control my whole day. But after I heard that, like, it really changed my perspective on things. It really, like, it was like a call out. It was like, oh, I just got called out. And I'm like, oh, that's me. That's what I do. And when I realized it, I was like, I was able to switch it around. And that's just one of the things that I had to work on changing. And a lot of times, like we are wanting to change certain things. And speaking on changing certain things, when we want to change things about ourselves, just in general, a lot of times when you're wanting to change something specifically that you're doing, and you having like this back and forth thing of you kind of making the efforts to change, but then you going back to it, it's because whatever you're doing is meeting some of your needs. So it's like a push and pull situation. Like, for example, you could be, let me think, you could be wanting to change who you talk to, right? You could be having, like, you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, right? And you know you need to lead a relationship, but somewhere in that relationship, that person, or maybe just the relationship itself, is giving you some type of comfort. And that's what you really want. You really want comfort, but you staying in the relationship because you feeling that comfort, so it feels good. But then at the same time, you know you don't need it. So it's like, I want to leave, but I don't. I want to leave, but I don't. But why can't I? And when you look at the root, you can really figure out. And truly, honestly, you just got to give that comfort to yourself. But that's not even just within a relationship. Like, that's with a lot of situations. Like, you could be wanting to quit a job, like a toxic work environment, but maybe the job is, maybe it's giving you the financial stability that you crave for, that you want. And so you going back and forth from, I want to leave, but then again, I'm getting this, so I want to stay. Well, truly, you have to make that hard decision and change. Like, you got to find you a different type of way to get income that's gonna bring you peace and not bring you negative vibes, negative energy. And also, another reason people and humans in general have a struggle with changing is because change brings discomfort. And a lot of things with humans that we struggle with is staying in a place that comfort us. We don't like being uncomfortable. We don't like being in uncomfortable situations. So we stay in the same environment, or we stay in the same situation, or we keep doing the same things that we may know we need to let go of, but because we are comforted in that situation, because we're comforted and because we don't want to feel that discomfort that's it's gonna bring when we actually do change, we stay in those sticky situations. But you have to think and really look at the bigger picture, that for one, the greatest things bring you discomfort. So if you want to change, you're wanting your life to change for the better, you're going to go through tons of uncomfortable situations, tons of discomforting situations, but you just have to take that step to keep walking through the fire until you get to the other side of things, because the other side is going to be a whole different life for you, something that you been dreaming of, something you've been actually wanting. And yes, it might be uncomfortable, it's going to feel uncomfortable, but it's okay. Think about different things. Just sit down. Think about the things that you've changed, or the things that may have changed that you didn't necessarily. How do I say this? Like, it wasn't you that changed it. Maybe something just life that changed it, and you was in an uncomfortable situation. But then you looked up and realized, like, you started feeling better and you felt better. Keep that in your head when it's time to make another change and you afraid of discomfort. Like, think about whatever moment you can that brought you something so great, but you was uncomfortable. That's what's gonna bring you the greatest things and the greatest gifts, is the uncomfortable situations. And also, when you make that effort to change and you actually change, not even just making the effort, but the effort in actually sticking through it and making the effort every day to change whatever it is that you need to change. Once you do that, like, so many doors will open up for you, so many opportunities will open up for you. You will just see your life in such a different light. And because once God see you putting in the work, and he see you actually making an effort, and you actually going to him, and you may be praying about certain things, you may want certain things. But another thing I realized is that a lot of times, say we pray for things, and we may think that the way it's going to be given to us is that thing right there on a silver platter. Like, you may be a real impatient person, and you want to change that. You want to be patient, so you praying, asking God to make you a patient purpose, I mean, not pay, make you a patient person. It's not gonna be given to you just like you wake up one day and now you all of a sudden you patient. No, it's gonna be given to you in ways like you're gonna be sitting in traffic and you got to get somewhere and it's gonna be 100 cars in front of you, and usually you'll be real impatient in those moments. You'll probably be doing some things causing road rage and cutting people, skipping the line, but that's an opportunity right there for you to practice patience. And that's what we have to really be like. We have to take, I feel like in life, like we have to take a moment to really realize like what's going on in the situation. Like, cause it could be, it's a lot of things and situations that God put us in for something so like that's bigger than ourselves, but we don't really realize it because we don't take the time to really sit and think, okay, I'm in this because of this, or this happened because of this. And that's something that I had to like really start doing. Like instead of asking why in like a negative way of why this happening to me, I ask why in like a positive way to myself, like okay, what is it in this situation that I'm like, why am I getting put through this situation? Like, what lesson am I supposed to be learning, or what am I supposed to be gaining from here, or what am I supposed to be practicing here? Like, you could be asking God to shoot what's something else, like I don't know, we'll come back to that. Oh yeah, so also what we have to do is to use the truth to live the most fulfilling life for you, because you only have one. So like, when it comes to you making changes or what you really think of yourself, like ask yourself, what do you really truly think of yourself, and what do you actually really want out of life? Not what someone else wants for you. What do you want? And once you start walking in your truth, then like I said, then that's when a lot of more doors and opportunities will open up for you. You have to live in your truth, because for one, like I said, you only have one life. Like, you living in your life in lies, baby, you're gonna be stressed. You're gonna be stressed and you're gonna be frustrated, because this is not who I truly am. This is not who I truly want. I mean, this is not what I truly want. Whatever it is that you truly want and truly want to do, you have to believe in yourself. And if you don't believe something, you question it. You don't believe something if you question it, and that creates doubt. Like, if you want to be the next, say for instance, I want to be the next #1 podcast in the world. Well, baby, if I don't truly think that my podcast is worthy of being #1, or I don't really put in the work to make it #1, whatever the case may be, and I'm over here doubting myself and doubting my podcast and doubting what I'm talking about, it's not going to happen. It's not just going to happen, simple as that. So you have to believe in yourself, believe what it is that you believe in, whatever it is that you truly want to do, and walk in that, and walk in your purpose. And also, I was watching this real estate video, and the man said, don't let an unknown variable control the timing of your house purchase. And when he was talking about that, he was using an example like, if you want to buy this house and somebody was like, oh no, don't get it right now because next year it's going to go down by 20%. But truly, don't nobody know what it's going to do next year. Don't nobody got no future calendar. No one knows. So if that's something that you truly want right now, you go ahead and get it. Don't let the unknown stop you from doing what you truly want to do, or the unknown stop you truly from changing, or the unknown stop you truly from going after what you're going to go after. Like I said, when it comes to changing yourself, yes, you don't know what's going to happen after. You may lose friends. You may lose connections with some family members. You may end up moving into a different space because you're changing certain things. Like, it's going to be a whole different life for you. And the unknownness and the discomfortness of it, don't let that stop you from doing it. Keep going through with it, because I promise you, it's going to be way better. It's going to be better than you thought. It's going to be better than you imagine. And yes, maybe you may lose this, that, and third in the process of it, but that just means it wasn't meant for you, and it wasn't meant to continue to go along with you on your new journey. With all that being said, I want you to sit down with yourself, figure out what it is that you yourself truly think of yourself. If you have a bunch of negative thoughts that you're struggling with, negative things, negative opinions about yourself, sit back and look at your life, look back in your childhood. Like I said, if you need to way back in your childhood, figure out where those negative opinions, negative thoughts came from, and don't let your past define you. You can always make a change. Every day that you wake up is a new day for you to make a change, and a new day for you to better yourself. And also, don't let the unknown and don't let the discomfort of different situations stop you from creating a better life for yourself, and stop you from creating a better version of you. Because like I said, the greatest things bring discomfort, and you gonna have to be in uncomfortable situations to become that version of you that you're supposed to be. Oh, and one thing, do not view life through your emotions, cause especially if it's negative emotions, because that can really bring you down, and it's gonna create, which then creates a lot of different negative thoughts, and which is just like a whole like a whole cycle, man. It's like a whole cycle. Like your thoughts, could be thinking certain things, then a situation happened, then you feeling sad, and then from that situation you creating more thoughts about your life, and then now you attract them negativity in this, and then it's just like a whole cycle. So you really have to figure out what it is that you truly want, what it is that you truly think of yourself. Walk in your purpose, walk in your truth. Don't let nobody else take nothing from you. Don't let nobody throw on no other opinions that you don't need, especially if they negative. Of course, you can listen to the positive opinions. Of course, we want that. But don't let the negativity outside of you affect you so much that now you look in the mirror, you don't even know who you are, and you feel like you X, Y, and Z. Like, no, don't do that. What do you truly think of yourself? And also, and ask yourself, is it some thoughts that you need to switch up? What you truly think of, what you think of yourself right now may not be who you really, really are. Like I said, maybe some of those thoughts came from the past. Maybe it came from a relationship. Maybe it came from childhood. Maybe it came from somebody always telling you something. Maybe it came from bullies. It could, thoughts, a lot of times thoughts form from a lot of different situations. So yeah, sit down with yourself and do a real evaluation of yourself, or also, like, not even just if you're thinking negative, you could be thinking that you doing the best, or you could be telling yourself that you're doing the best that you could be doing. But is that truly what you're doing? Like, are you truly doing your best? Like, sit down and reevaluate yourself. Like, am I truly doing my best right now? Like, look at your life, look at the facts, look at what you're doing. Look at how you're making people feel. Look how you're making yourself feel. Look at the action that you're making every day. Look at the decisions that you're making, and ask yourself, are you truly doing your best? Or whatever it is that you could be thinking, that you are being the best friend right now, but you could truly not be. Just look at all that and do a reevaluation and see what it is that you need to change. And if it's some things that you need to change, some people you need to stop hanging around, some things you need to stop doing, some places you need to stop going, hey, it might be, like I said, it might be uncomfortable and discomforting, but it's for the greater, and it's for the better good. And you know deep down that that's what you need to do in order for your life to transform into a whole different life that you did not have before. So make those changes, make those efforts every day, and figure out what it is that you need to do next. What is your next step? I love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. All Things Said podcast. Misha T. Yeah, I'm just kidding. But all right, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you guys later. What you think of yourself? What do you truly think of yourself? And reevaluate your thoughts. Look at the facts. Look at your life. Look at it for what it really is. I love you guys.